And a short. Yeah. Thank you, sir. To set the context.
Sir, this is the third tranche of PLI which Ministry has launched, sir. Next. So the PLI scheme was approved with an outlay of 6,322 crore. We have already have two stages of PLI. In the first one, we have 44 projects, 19 companies there. Next one, which you only launched it last year, 42 projects, 25 companies. The tenure is 2025 to 31, and the 5 categories of the specialty steel, that is coated, high strength wear resistant, specialty rail, alloy steel wires, and liquid steel, they've been covered. Sir, we just wanted to bring that why specialty steel matters, sir, because we have whatever imports we have in our country. We have noticed that around 25% of them, they are those specialty steels where our capability, our capacity is not available. So that is why government launched this PLI scheme, for which the capacity of those specialty steels can be created. They have used this specialized application and here import. So this is the overview of the PLI first PLI 1.0, where the investments are to 27,000 odd crores were committed, 22,000 around 655 are already been done. The incremental production which was committed for 7.9 million ton, 2.4 has already happened. Employment, we have already reached to the level that 14,000 which was committed, 13,000 has already been done. Out of incentive which was budgeted, sir, 236 crores so far have been disbursed. In the PLI 1.1, which was launched last year, the investment was 17,000 crore, where so far investment has happened 968, sir. That actually the incentives and all will start coming in the coming years, sir, 26, 27. So this is the interventions what we have taken. They are like the visa for foreign experts. The state governments also, in one of the cases we have remember that we engaged the state government for creation of infrastructure, roads and all. And the industries, when they wanted that to get deferred, we have also with approval of Competent 30, we got 18 projects deferred previous last year. And now we have come for the third PLI 1.2, third stage of PLI 1.2, which is in launched. The achievements are same, sir, what we have done. We have had 23,000 odd crore of investment which has been committed. 2.4 million tons has already been produced, sir. 13,000 employment has been done, and incentive of 236 crores has been disbursed. Sir, this third round of PLI scheme, which is PLI 1.2, which is being launched presently, it has a online application system. We have sought applications from industry, sir. The eligibility is the company which is registered in the country. Product coverage, sir, we have taken 22 product subcategories in this, whereas some strategic steel grades, certain commercial grades, coated wire products, they all have been covered. We have gone a wider here in PLI 1.2, sir. And the base year also we revised it Earlier, we were doing it for the pricing to 2019-20, which is now 2024-25. Sir, thing which is new in this PLI is lower level of investment and threshold, which has been defined here. Annual incremental production requirement we have done away with. We have provided incentives which is linked to the actual production. And the base year, which was earlier 2019-20, has been revised to 2024-25. Sir, these are 85 such projects. The companies, the 55 companies which have proposed these 85 projects, they are here, sir, where they will they have already entered into MOU where they will receive it from you, sir. And they are for these 4 different categories, broad categories, where the strategic sector, commercial grade of two separate categories of commercial grade and coated wire products. Ministry will facilitate single point coordination. Ministry has support on approval and clearances. Interministerial coordination wherever required, we will be doing it, sir, and we will continue doing it, and continuous engagement with state and industry. We expect from industry for timely investment as committed, and the focus on quality, consistency, those things. Early engagement with user industry so that when they were able to create the capacity and they produce their homologation and those formalities they are done so that they are able to sell and receive incentive appropriately. And that will have the underlying objective of import substitutions. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister, Steel and Heavy Industries, Shri Kumaraswamy, my colleagues on the dais, off the dais, and the most important segment today present here, the PLI investors. Today we are signing the MOUs for round 1.2 of specialty steel PLI. As you are aware that this scheme started a few years ago, but in last 1 year with guidance of our Honorable Minister, this is the second round that we are finalizing. We did round 1.1 last year, and this is the second round. As all of you know, all of you are from the steel sector, that India is the emerging steel hub of the world. In last 10 years, we have reached from 100 to 200 million tons in terms of capacity. And this year alone, that is in year 25-26, till now, we have already added 18 million tons of capacity. So as of today, we are 218 million tons. I presume that by March, this number will go further. Now, we are the only country in the world where steel capacity is getting added. Everywhere else, the steel capacity is actually, in terms of operational steel capacity, it is actually going down. So, and that is because our consumption is increasing. We were 108 kilograms per person, per capita, at the end of financial year 24-25, which will definitely rise significantly this year. And our total consumption, which last year was 152 million tons, we expect that by 2030-31, that is in the next 5 to 6 years, it will cross 225 to 30 million tons. And for that, we will need about 300 million tons of capacity. The plans, as I mentioned earlier, of both ISPs and secondary sector companies, show that we will easily achieve 300 million tons by 2031 and perhaps 400 million tons by 35-36. So, we are the silver lining in the steel sector in the world. Everywhere else, the steel consumption is decreasing, the capacity is getting sort of downscaled. Now, having said that, what are our challenges? It's not as if there are no challenges. The first challenge is the raw material. As all of you know that we are still dependent significantly for coking coal on imports. Last year our coking coal was 90% we imported of the coking coal which we used in steel production. This quantity is going to go up because the domestic capacity creation is not keeping pace with the steel capacity expansion. So that is one challenge, and I think one important issue there is to diversify so that we are not dependent on a single source country and supply chain uncertainties. Apart from that, we are also dependent for other raw materials on imports like limestone, nickel, for stainless steel, manganese. Almost half or more than half of our manganese for ferroalloys is imported. So except iron ore, we are dependent significantly for imports, and that is one area where we have to take action and where the ministry is taking action under the guidance of our minister, honorable minister, to diversify and to have long-term agreements as well as asset acquisition abroad, so that we have certainty of supply. The second challenge which I see before the steel sector is the exports. Our exports in last few years have gone down because of the tariff and non-tariff barriers being put in place by different countries. It is heartening to note that this year, this trend has sort of changed. As of January, we were marginally net exporter, but that is still a problem. With European Union's CBAM and tariff quotas and other challenges, exports will remain a problem, and we will have to take action on exports. The third challenge which I see before the steel sector is the efficiency, cost competitiveness. While most of our ISPs are cost competitive on international scale, secondary steel sector still has to be cost competitive and use the latest technologies. And the last challenge, not the last challenge, but the fourth challenge is the specialty steel. While we have surplus steel capacity, there are still multiple grades of steel which we import. Now there are 2-3 types of imports. One is that the price in the international market is lower than the domestic price. So that's price sensitive imports. You can't really do much about it because that's the market demand and supply scenario. But second is where the specialty steel grade is not available in the country. It is there where the specialty steel PLI of the government is helping to create domestic capacity. We did lot of interactions with the industry, and with the approval of honorable minister, this time we went to the empowered group of secretaries and we got many concessions in this round. As was shown by the joint secretary, the significant concessions are: number one, the base year has been changed to 24-25, which means that the PLI incentives will be on a higher rate Earlier it was on 2019 prices, now it will be 24-25 prices. The second is that the requirement of annual production increase has been removed. And now the incentives will be paid on whatever increment is there, irrespective of the fact that whether the annual target was met or not met. If you are producing more than what you have produced earlier, you will get the incentive. That's a significant change in the earlier scheme for round 1 and 1.1. So having said that, I hope that the projects which are getting signed today, as was shown, about 85 projects of roughly 12,000 crores investment with 8.2 million tons of additional capacity are going to be signed today in the presence of Honorable Minister. I hope that these projects will help the upcoming sectors in the country, especially defense, where we are getting more and more skill requirement and we are still dependent on imports for many defense grades. Aerospace, while we are not making aircraft, but we are making large number of aircraft equipment. And aerospace industry in the country is growing. And then auto. So all these sectors need specialty steel, and I hope that the projects which we are signing today will help in that. My only request to all the project proponents here is that please stick to the timeline. This scheme ends in 2031 and it will not be possible to take it for, extend it. So if you think that the scheme will be extended, no, the scheme is only till 2031 as per the cabinet approval. So please stick to the timeline. This is one scheme where our officers are requesting the companies to send invoices for incentives. So we are after the companies to give money and the companies don't want money. This has been our experience so far in this year. So I want this to be the other way around, or at least 50-50. So as we are keen to give money, you should be keen to take money under the PLI. So I convey my best wishes and I assure you that you will get all the support from the ministry for this PLI, and let us take the specialty steel sector in the country forward and be self-reliant as per the slogan of Aatmanirbhar Bharat coined by our Honorable Prime Minister. We should be self-reliant in specialty steel in the country. Thank you.
Secretary to Steel Ministry, Abhijit Narendraji. Then every namaskar to everybody, to all distinguished guests, industry leaders, participating companies and members of the media. The production linked incentive scheme is a key reform of the Government of India aimed at strengthening domestic manufacturing and enhancing global competitiveness. Covering 14 sectors, including steel, it promotes value addition, advanced technologies, and globally competitive production. Although India is the second largest steel producer and consumer, it continues to depend on imports for certain high grade and specialty steel used in critical sectors. The PLI scheme for specialty steel seeks to address this gap by incentivizing domestic capacity creation and integrating Indian produce into global value chains. At this juncture, I would like to place on record my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, his visionary leadership and emphasis on Aatmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India have provided the direction and momentum for transformative initiatives like the PLI scheme. His emphasis on domestic manufacturing, value addition, and global competitiveness continues to guide our efforts in the steel sector. It is in this larger context that we have gathered here today for the signing of memorandum of understanding under PLI 1.2 for specialty steel. This event marks another important milestone in our collective journey towards strengthening the domestic steel ecosystem. The response from the industry has been extremely encouraging. Under PLI 1.0, investments of about 27,000 crore were committed. Under PLI 1.1, commitments of around 17,000 crore followed. And now, under PLI 1.2, 55 companies have submitted 85 applications with investments of approximately 13,000 crores. This round alone is expected to create nearly 8.7 million tons of additional specialty steel capacity, which is a strong vote of confidence in India's growth prospects. I am happy to share that India has already made notable strides in specialty and alloy steel manufacturing. Today, domestic producers are supplying advanced automotive steel, electrical steel, high-strength rails, API-grade pipeline steel, and defense-grade alloys. With these new investments, we will further deepen our capabilities, reduce import dependence, conserve foreign exchange, and emerge as a reliable supplier of high-value steel to the world. Our objective is clear: to produce more value-added steel in India, promote domestic manufacturing, and make India a global hub for specialty steel. I urge all participating companies to implement their projects in a time-bound manner and maximize the use of indigenous technologies and inputs. For any facilitation required during project execution, companies may coordinate with the designated project management agency through the ministry, PLI portal, and support framework so that issues relating to approvals or clearances can be addressed promptly. The synergy created through this scheme will not only enhance capacity but also generate employment, promote innovation, and strengthen the entire steel value chain. I congratulate all the companies signing the MOUs today and wish you very success in your endeavors. Thank you, Jai Hind.
First, I request representatives from our records to come forward. Amara Inox, please come forward. You all have your coupon numbers, please.
Sir, look here.
Next, Amit. Sir. Avtar Steel. Next is Ayaz Sindhi. Request Balaji Delia. Next I request BSN 40. Next I request Brand Alliance. Next I request Captain. Next I request Aerocare. Envirocare, Dowry Tower. Next time. Next time. Next time is Jai Jagdamba. Jaswal Nico. Jinder Quantum. Jinder Quantum. Next we request Jinder Stainless. Next we request Jinder United Steel. Next we request JSW JP. Next we request Krishna. Next we request Krishna Defense. Next we request
Yes, sir.
Then representative from Northern Vinimay. Next is Ramkrishna Titlakar Railway. Next is Ramswarup Industries. Next is Rasmi Metallurgical Industry Private Limited. Next is Ratna Stainless. Next is Sambhal Steel Tubes Limited.
Fast.
Both of you can come.
Next, Star Coils Limited. Shalco Industries. Next, Sri Mahavir. This is Sri Mahavir Ferroalloys. Next is Private Limited. Next is Sale of Stainless Private Limited.
Sir, wait.
Energy Advanced Metal Limited. Next is Usha Martin.
Thank you. Sir.
Then next is Vaswani Industries Limited.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Then next, this is
Sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Investment and value addition. Your participation reflects the confidence that you have reposed in the India's growth story. I thank our partners from the industry associations and the knowledge partners for their MECON, for example, for their support. Finally, I thank the distinguished guests and participants for joining us today. With these words, I thank you everyone for your presence. Please join us for lunch. Thank you.